what's up with nuclear war? Let's talk about nuclear war now. The US, for the first time, raised 14 B-52 strategic bombers at once in just 30 minutes as a global strike practice. It's written that Putin got a big scare. I assure you that he is absolutely not afraid. This is what he is striving for. This is what he is going for. Our associates send us information from different places. Yesterday, it was supplemented by a person who sent it from the airfield in Kipelovo, which is the Vologda region, where there is a facility called Voga Po2, the 12th directorate of the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation, which stores nuclear weapons. Currently, various charges are stored there. Previously, the Northern Fleet stored nuclear torpedoes there, but now it increasingly stores warheads for Kh-55 missiles. I'll explain why. It is an interesting situation. I will not give many facts. I will give just one. We have a lot of facts that show Putin is preparing for a nuclear war, and yet he is not preparing to repel a nuclear strike. Can you imagine the paradox? Not preparing to repel a nuclear strike. It's not only bomb shelters, which are an active defense of civilians. I'll give you just one example that makes the hair on your head move. There is a so-called nuclear clock that shows how much time is left before a nuclear war. Well, I'll tell you, there's no time left. Putin will organize it very soon as he goes on the offensive in Ukraine, gets seriously punched in the face there, and then he can do it all. We see Putin disappearing from time to time, and now he's disappeared again. Why is he missing? He accustoms Western fools. He disappeared once, disappeared again, and when he gets into his Yamantau and closes, they will think, well, he will appear in a week, and if he doesn't show up in a week, he'll hit them, so he's training them so they don't know when he's going to strike. Putin realizes he won't retaliate, so he has to hide to survive. Look at the drills Putin's doing every day now. They're equipping airplanes with all kinds of nuclear weapons. It's different weapons, daggers and missiles, Kh-55 missiles with nuclear warheads, Kh-102. It's the same as the Kh-101, but with nuclear warheads. And then they fly, just fly. Why? They put up this shit and fly it over the heads of citizens. Probably to teach all the Western fools that he does this from time to time. You see, he brought nukes to Moscow, too. Nukes driving around Moscow with nuclear warheads, with fuel. 8 missiles with fuel and nuclear warheads are in Moscow. The question arises, Guy, why? And here is an interesting example I want to give you about this storage facility where there were nuclear torpedoes. What were nuclear torpedoes made for? These torpedoes were carried by the IL-38 airplane, which were designed to destroy American submarines. The Soviet Union was very much worried about the fact that if a nuclear war happens, the Americans have a lot of submarines. They are very well hidden, and they shoot from underwater, and they can shoot both ballistic missiles and tactical missiles. This is extremely dangerous because they can lie on the shore right next to Russia and fire a missile. The missile will only take a few seconds to come up and hello family. Note that the Tu-95 was the first strike weapon the Soviets converted into a defense weapon. Why? Because preventing submarines from firing was a matter of principle. If the submarines fired, everyone realized that it was the end. The Soviet Union would cease to exist. Even one means of nuclear triad, such as submarines, would completely destroy the Soviet Union. The communists knew that. What's Putin doing? He redesigned the Tu-142M3 airplanes before the war in Ukraine. He uses them as carriers of Kh-55 missiles. Missiles for the first strike, not for fighting submarines, but for the first strike. It's an amazing situation. He's got first strike capabilities, and he's building up those capabilities, leaving no way to defend against submarines. So he doesn't care how many or where they come from. You must understand, all of Putin's devils who support him should have learned that nobody is going to save them and nobody is going to protect them. If Putin strikes first, there will be nothing to defend. At least the US submarines will all be able to attack Russia, and they are the most effective. As you realize, There will be no stone left unturned.